Expedition 33 arrived on the gaming scene with confidence. From the moment it begins, it announces itself clearly through dramatic framing, painterly visuals, and a world built around a singular haunting idea: 33. A number that defines its tone, its stakes, and its sense of inevitability. This is a game that knows exactly what it wants to be. It doesn't hesitate, it doesn't undercut its themes, and it doesn't ask for permission. That confidence carried it straight into Game of Year conversations, where it swept awards and quickly became one of the most talked about releases of 2025.
And the Game of the Year is... mon ami Clair Obscur, Expédition 33!
But moments like this don't exist in a vacuum. As I played Clair Obscur Expedition 33, I found myself thinking not only about why it resonated so strongly, but what its success might mean for the larger industry, and for the long-running franchises many of us return to for comfort. Because while bold experimental games like this are something I want to celebrate, they also raise important questions about where innovation belongs and how much change we really want from the series we already love. Today I want to talk about Clair Obscur Expedition 33, what it does exceptionally well, how its combat defines the entire experience, and why its success left me both inspired and cautious about what comes next. Hey friends, I'm Autumn. Welcome back to Cozy Cartridges, your corner for cozy reflections on calm, nostalgic, and handheld gaming experiences. If that sounds like your vibe, grab your favorite snack or drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. At its core, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a story about inevitability, grief, and the quiet terror of knowing exactly when something will end. Each year, a mysterious figure known as the Paintress awakens and paints a number in the sky. Everyone who has reached that age vanishes, erased from existence in an instant. When the game begins, that number has reached 33. You play as members of Expedition 33, a group sent on what is a suicide mission, reach the Paintress and stop the cycle before everyone they love disappears. Entire civilizations exist under this countdown. Culture, relationships, and hope itself are shaped by the certainty that time is running out. What impressed me most is how the game allows this premise to breathe. It doesn't rush past the emotional weight of the situation, instead leading into quiet conversations, reflective pauses, and moments of stillness that reinforces the cost of living under a ticking clock. The tone is heavy but deliberate. Outside of combat, Clair Obscur is intentionally lean. Between story beats, you're given moments to interact with party members, engage in brief conversations, and develop relationships, but these sections are focused and restrained. There are opportunities to upgrade weapons, improve character stats, and prepare your party, but there's very little busy work. This is a shorter RPG, and because of that, there's not much padding. If you're someone who loves long stretches of stat optimization, optional dungeons, social sim elements, or expansive exploration, this game may feel surprisingly streamlined. That structure worked very well for me in shorter play sessions, especially on my Legion Go running SteamOS, which finally got some much needed attention thanks to this game. Autosave is generous, but you still can't save wherever you want, so being able to put the system to sleep mid-session was genuinely a quality of life blessing. That said, the lack of a minimap did discourage me from exploring more freely. The environments are beautiful, but without strong navigation tools, I found myself sticking close to main paths rather than wandering, which limited how much I saw of the world beyond combat encounters. That's just a me thing though, I get lost very easily, quite a bit. But if you pick this game up, you are probably drawn in by the combat, and that's because combat is where Clair Obscur Expedition 33 truly lives. At a glance, it presents itself as a turn-based system, but in practice, it is anything but passive. Battles demand constant attention, sharp timing, and situational awareness. Traditional turn order is layered with reactive real-time elements like dodging and parrying, asking you to stay engaged even when it isn't technically your turn. Enemy attacks are telegraphed through subtle visual cues and audio tells, and failing to read those patterns can very quickly lead to an expedition failed screen. It's a system that rewards observation and mastery rather than brute force or constant grinding. Each party member has a clearly defined combat identity with strengths and limitations that encourage thoughtful team composition. Their abilities are designed to work together in deliberate ways, pushing you to think about synergy rather than individual power. Weapon choices, special skills, and upgrades all feed into that larger puzzle, allowing you to fine-tune your party as a whole to prepare to handle a wide range of enemy types and encounter styles. What stood out to me most is how rarely combat feels like filler. Every encounter feels intentional, as though it exists to reinforce your understanding of the system rather than to simply pad out runtime. There's a steady escalation in complexity as new mechanics are introduced, but the game is careful not to overwhelm you. New party members come with optional tutorials that explain their roles clearly, allowing the system to grow more intricate without ever feeling unfair or obscure. Get it? Obscure? This is also where the game's confidence is most apparent. Combat isn't just one pillar among many, it is the pillar. And everything else in Clair Obscur exists largely to support and contextualize these battles, and that singular focus is what gives this game such a strong sense of identity. What makes Clair Obscur so special isn't just that it's good, it's that it's bold. This is an indie team taking a big swing. It doesn't play things safe. It doesn't soften its themes. It doesn't chase trends. And that's exactly why its success feels so important. And here is where I want to be very clear. Familiarity is a good thing for long-established franchises. Take Pokemon, Metroid Prime, Fire Emblem, Persona, Dragon Quest. I want these games to feel like themselves. I return to them for comfort, for structure, and for a familiar rhythm that evolves slowly and intentionally over time. That's why I keep thinking back to a conversation I had with a viewer on my Metroid Prime 4 video about expectations. When we love a franchise, we aren't asking it to reinvent itself for every generation. We're asking it to refine what already works and what we already love. That's also why I find it reassuring and important that innovation like Clair Obscur is coming from a new IP, not from established series trying to chase the next big thing and appeal to the masses, whatever that means. Even Persona and Metaphor director Katsura Hoshino has spoken openly about the risk of staying strictly in one lane. He wants to evolve what jrpgs can be, and I respect that. But personally, I want that experimentation to happen elsewhere and live in a new series, because I want my Persona games to feel like Persona. If Atlas wants to try something drastically new and wild, fantastic! Just make it a spin-off series. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 proves that there is room for both new and old. Clair Obscur is not a cozy game in the traditional sense, but it is intentional, thoughtful, emotionally resonant, and confident in its identity. Most of you have probably already played this game, but let me know down in the comments below whether or not you have, how you enjoyed it, and whether it makes you stop and reflect about what you want in games, both new and old, that you enjoy playing. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for weekly cozy gaming content. Until next time, may your expeditions be fruitful, your countdowns merciful, and may your favorite franchises stay true to themselves.